You are watching the number one podcast in the whole entire YouTube wrestling community, and I'm one of your hosts, Juan.
And I'm your other host, Jean-Paul Leek.
And together we are
Rope Break.
And like we promised, didn't we promise yesterday? We said that like as soon as the pay-per-view is over, we're gonna be here, talking about NXT Takeover in your house. Jean-Paul, will you and me have a smile on our faces? Why? Because we have a brand new NXT Women's Champion. We predicted it. We asked WWE, and this time, hey, they deliver. So we're not gonna be, we're not gonna be bashing the product. We're not gonna be as critical as we normally are. But we're really excited. Io Shirai finally has gold around her waist.
Yeah, fantastic show. And like you said, normally Triple H doesn't disappoint. We're just so used to Raw and SmackDown and all the bullshit that they give. It's like you forget how legit NXT can be. And we always say, like, there's no way you're going to watch this TakeOver show and not enjoy something out of it. And I think the big thing that a majority of people are going to enjoy is exactly what you said. They put it in the main event for a reason, so people, when the show is over, they could celebrate Io Shirai, new NXT Women's Champion.
That's awesome. Yeah. So before we start, Jean-Paul, thank you so very much for everybody that is watching the videos. For our new subscribers, thank you for giving us an opportunity. We commit that we will always deliver the best at all times. So thank you so very much on that. Don't forget to check out Ronii Flores. Great interview. We got to learn a lot about her career, a lot of her intake. Or like the product, WWE, AEW, great interview. And of course, like we have SmackDown, Raw, AEW, NXT before this pay-per-view, so please check it out. Jean-Paul, NXT in your house. Started out like the set, they had the old in your house like aura.
Yeah.
Like, it was pretty cool. Of course, this didn't have like crowd, so to say. They have the NXT guys around it. And of course, like the plastic, you will say, what is it, like the divider?
Yeah, like the plexiglass. Yeah,
the plexiglass that divides and everything. And we actually got to see Todd Pettinger. He's the one that like used to be the interviewer in the days of WWF when In Your House started. And also we had a performance that opened the show from Code Orange, and the song is Underneath. That was the official team for NXT Takeover In Your House. A lot of people love it. Metalheads, they were really happy about it. I didn't mind it. I was like, yeah, sure.
Yeah, I like that. So yeah, I like the singing. But then I don't like the metalcore screamo part. You know what I mean? Like the music itself to me was legit, but then the screaming, I was like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, sure. Yeah, but like the one thing you gotta give Triple H is like he invited them over, they were there, and also they're giving chances to new bands.
Oh well, Triple H, yeah, and he knows that those bands are popular, and he's trying to appeal to all these people because he could just have these old bands, like AC/DC, all that kind of like old bullshit, but it's like, how popular is that going to get you? So you got to go with the new bands.
You got to start it off, like with new bands, giving chances to like for newer generations can actually get behind the product, and that's what they did. And they opened up with like the 6 women tag. Of course, great match. At least to open up the show, I think it was like decent. There were like a little spots were a little sloppy, but it's fine. Tegan Knox, Shotzi Blackheart, Mia Yim against Candice, and the captain of Team Kick, Dakota Kai, and Raquel Gonzalez. And like I said, like I think that the match was a little sloppy at times, but I think we predicted that the faces were going to win. So like we actually started like the pay-per-view in a good note because we actually said that they were going to win. What are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, I mean, I thought that I thought the heels were going to win, I believe, because I predicted Gargano to lose, and I'm like, well, then Candice is going to get the win here. But we still kind of saw the feud going because I didn't think the feud would be over between Candice and Mia. We saw them go at it, like you said, this match was good. All 6 of these women are talented, but they might not be all talented to, like, mesh together. And like you said, when there's 6 women involved, you're all trying to do spots and call for stuff. I like the match overall. The only one spot I didn't like is when the heels were on the outside and Shotzi dived and she missed, and then Raquel caught her, slammed her on the ground, and then I think Mia Yim dived and actually hit people. Then Candice dived, and then Tegan dived. It's like it's just so many dives, and they're all just standing there, just like we say with AEW, just waiting to catch the people. You could have just did one dive, Shotzi messed up, and then I would have just had Tegan do it and take everybody out. Yeah. I would have just went with the 2 and then moved on. But other than that, I mean, it was good stuff. And I think the way that they told the story of the match, the faces winning, was the best choice.
Yeah, because Dakota Kai missed a lot of times, a lot of cues. Meaning in the team for the heels.
Yeah,
Like
and that was
she was like missing
storyline, and
spot.
that all stuff was storyline put in there because it also looked like they're teasing the split between Raquel
Yeah.
and Dakota Kai.
Yes, because like they even Raquel was like, "What are you doing?" You know, it's like focus, like what the hell, like you like because she missed
Yeah,
a
because
super kick and she ended up hitting Candice, I think, and that's why like started like the disconnection between the team.
yeah, and it was like you said, it caused this disconnect, and then we saw the faces win, and it was a good way to start Takeover. It was one of it was definitely, I would say, the weakest match of the show though, so that's why it was good to kind of put it in the beginning.
It's true. It was absolutely like the weakest match, and of course, like in the end of the match, like Mia Yim and Candice went out. Like
Yeah.
they left the match, leaving all the four remaining women right there, and that's when the faces took the advantage, and that's when like Shotzi like helped out with like a move on like it was Raquel, and then the Tegan Knox did the Shining Wizard on Dakota Kai, and that's how she pinned her. And then like even Moro saying like in the commentary, she's like, "Oh, now Tegan has another one on Dakota Kai." So like you can see that like the feud is gonna keep prolonging. I don't know why. I would much rather see Candice and Tegan going at it. I thought that we were gonna see some kind of tension during this one, but that wasn't the case. But like you said, at least this one was like the match that was put last. So hey, we got rid of it from the very beginning. So we have all the matches that actually have more build towards
Yeah.
there. Towards the next part of the show, and then we're gonna move on, Jean Paul, to Damian Priest and the Prince, Finn Balor. And like Jean Paul was saying to me, that was the best match of the night in the men, because like these two guys, like they put on a really really great show.
Oh yeah, this match was stiff. It was brutal. And Damian Priest, he looked good in it too. You knew that, if you're smart, you think, they're probably gonna make Finn Balor win, and it's the smart choice. But Damian Priest, there was plenty of times that he looked strong, he looked dominant. I liked how they let him play. They used the ring steps. There wasn't no like, oh, we're gonna call for a DQ or we're gonna call for the bell or anything like that. It was good. It was legit. Like I said, strong strikes. But in the end, when Finn Balor won, like I said, it was the right guy, because I think you got to move him on with what we saw from the back lot brawl. I think Finn Balor is the next guy you got to put up there.
Oh yeah, no, and see, like the one thing I did appreciate is also like the counters that they did to each other. See, like it
Mm-hmm.
was like you said yesterday with Ronnie, is a dance, because all of like the both of them they kept like countering their moves, but like the counters, the way that like the match flew, like the flow of it, it was really really nice.
Yeah, he could
Like
never. Yeah,
Priest counter a lot of Balor's moves, like in Balor
mm-hmm.
will do the STF, they will do like the Sling Blade, like in a counter, like very good stuff, and the same
Oh
thing with
yeah.
Priest. So like it
I
was
think, yeah, and I
back and
think a
forth.
couple of times he was trying to go for the 1916, and then he would counter it, and it was like, oh, then he was going to do the Razor's Edge, and he countered it, and then probably the best spot of the night when he was going for the Razor's Edge off the apron, and then Balor countered and pushed him right into the ring steps, and he went back first. So that
And
was a
then he
legit
went back for
spot.
that. That was really cool. I love the double spinning heel kick that like Damian Priest does. He
Oh
connected
yeah,
that like 3 or 4 times on Balor. Very very good. I really love how he completely does the 360 right there. Boom, and then
yeah, and
he
that's
felt
the
like
thing too with Balor. He trained in Japan, so he's used to like that tough style. So he stood in there and took those kicks. He wasn't
yes.
like, oh, like dodging the stuff and making like he stood in there, took the hits from Priest, and he made his offense look extremely legit.
And
I
yeah,
think
and I really love like.
this is
Go
probably
ahead.
his best match. I mean, I feel like it could have been a little longer. It was short, and maybe people might want to say, oh, it was maybe a little slow at times when they took it to the outside a little bit. It kind of like slowed down the action, but I could have watched him wrestle another 5 minutes. I feel it could have made it more legit, especially if he would have had more, like you said, the counter for counter for counter, like those crazy exchanges.
That's what I really got into that, and then for example I really appreciate when Priest does like that spinning heel kick, boom, but then like as Balor is falling, then he connects the Pele kick. So
Uh
that was
huh.
like good. Even Ronaldo is like, oh, you guys appreciate how I say Pele. I'm like, it's just Pele. Yeah, don't yeah, no, no, don't mess with soccer. Leave it outside. Boom. But like really good stuff, and then again, like you said, Sling Blade, and then Finn Balor had to actually do 2 times the coup de grace. The one time he hit on the neck of Priest. Priest didn't hit the Awakening, so that's like you always say, they keep the finisher untouched. So that's
Hmm.
kind of cool because like once he hits that, then you most likely he will get the win over Balor
Yeah,
if it happens
exactly.
again. But then Balor goes, to her, get some reassurance, and then he hits another coup de grace, and he gets the 1, 2, 3. He didn't do 1916. And Jean Paul just said a really great point, family, that everybody needs to be focused on. He might now be face, or be that gray area that he can be baby and heel at the same time. So, like you said, now that like we know that Adam Cole retained the title, then whoop, we have a championship match right there, right in front of our eyes.
Yeah, I think that's. I mean, I can't say anything else. I think that's exactly where they're going with it. I mean, that's the only logical way to go.
Oh yeah, and like this guy's like, imagine like if Cole puts great matches with pretty much everybody. Same thing with Balor, like you said.
Yeah, you put them together.
Priest to this, so absolutely.
Yeah,
amazing.
I mean the only other thing I could think would be maybe a throwaway feud for 2-3 weeks with Dexter Lumis, but then the next takeover you have has got to be Balor.
Oh yeah, it has to be Balor. It has to be because like outside of Balor, who's the guy?
Yeah, you don't have unless you're gonna pull the trigger on Karrion Kross. But I don't see them doing that right away.
I really don't see it because, like, also, like, I think the feud is going to continue with Ciampa. Maybe one more pay-per-view just because Ciampa's like, no, he beat me, so I need my redemption. So I don't see it that coming. But, Jean Paul, we're going to move on. I really love at the end, like that, boom. And then, Priest is like, okay, whatever. It's like, you won.
I mean, they might even stretch their feud out a little bit on TV as well. Like, and then when Cole deals with Dexter Lumis, then those feuds will kind of wrap up the same time.
And then they will interject. Yep. They will interject, and then that will turn into like the NXT Championship match. But Jean Paul, now let's talk about the North American Championship match, and that is Johnny Gargano debuting his new gimmick, of course, his new in-ring gear, going against the Limitless one, Kid Lucius Lee. So KLL, pretty. For me, it was a little slow at times. I don't want to say it was a bad match. By no means I'm trying to say that. I'm just saying like. The pace of it was a little too slow for my liking, but I want to hear what Jean Paul has to say about it.
And I think I definitely agree with that. Like if you watch, you're kind of coming off that Finn Balor match where there was a lot of fast-paced stuff in it and it was exciting, and then you get this match, and I feel like if this was babyface Gargano versus babyface Keith Lee, it would have been like that. But it's heel Gargano, so he's gonna slow the match down. He had the keys because he came out of the house and he was like getting ready for the match. He looked, there's a picture of Doc Hendricks. I was supposed to be like his dad or something. And he's like, okay, yep, that's right. So he leaves, he grabs the keys and he put them in his trunk. So you knew he was going to use the keys again like he did on NXT when he jabbed Keith Lee in the eyes. And that was a kind of a story in the match later on. But like I said, he's just going to slow it down because he's going to play that heel. Gargano, he knows what to do as a heel. He's not going to do anything to excite the crowd, to pop them. He's going to play the slow match.
Yeah, absolutely. So I guess that's the only thing. I don't want to say criticism. It was just again for my taste. I don't think it was that fast paced that I know that these guys can do that. But like you said, like he's a heel now, so he has to move as a heel. He needs to learn how to sell as a complete heel. I did like the spot that like Kid Lee pushed him like he did to Adam Cole months ago on NXT, and then he ended up breaking the plastic glass or.
Oh yeah, when he pounced them through that. Yeah, there was a lot of good stuff. And Keith Lee, they were kind of selling a hand injury too. I guess Gargano got him with the hand or with the keys or something with the hand on NXT. That I kind of missed. I only saw the eye, but they were selling the hand injury, and I know that was. But like he was still using that hand in the match to deliver a lot of blows and like a lot of moves and strikes and stuff. So I'm like, it mustn't be that hurt. So. Yes. That was like an only thing I thought of the match. I'm like, well, this is kind of like weird.
But other than that, like I said, it was pretty good. Like you said, I didn't see the fast pace in Gargano, but like you said, it is a heel. So I gotta understand that because I'm used to like heel, Gargano like going like 100 miles an hour, super kicks, like the Gargano escape, the DDT going in like the ring and all of that.
Yeah, I mean, he tried for the spear, like when he does that slingshot spear. He tried for all that stuff, and Keith Lee kind of countered it. I think that was a thing too. A lot of his like fast-paced offense for him to like get the advantage, Keith Lee kind of countered it.
Yeah,
there's a lot of stuff.
We didn't see any of that. We didn't see, like I said, the Gargano escape. So like the one thing is like the match never got like we never get to the climax of the match. Like the Gargano escape is on. Tab. Like there was not a moment of that. So I think that they're going to continue the feud, and then maybe we get a better match.
Especially because like we saw, the women came out. We had Candice came out, Mia came out. They're fighting still and this and that. So that this feud's going to continue at least in that aspect of it. And I feel like the men are obviously going to get involved at some point. and it was a clean win for Keith Lee.
Yes.
You thought maybe Gargano was going to use the keys, and the ref would be like, "Oh no, this is done." That's what I was thinking. That was going to be like Lee wins on a DQ to really keep the feud going. I think when I was thinking about it today, I'm like, I could see that, but they gave Keith Lee the clean win, and I think it makes Keith Lee look good because, like we said, the North American, he was legit, and then it's like, maybe it's because of Corona, no crowd, because he was really big with the crowd. The crowd was super behind him. Maybe that's why he seems a little flat, but a win over Gargano definitely makes him look a lot better.
Yeah, and of course, Spirit Bomb, and then the Big Bang Catastrophe, 1, 2, 3, Keith Lee retains, everybody's happy. We said Gargano, I think you said Keith Lee, I said Gargano.
Yeah.
So, hey, I was wrong, John Paul, congratulations on that. And now we go to the match that, even John Paul said this is not going to be the main event, and he was also correct on that one. You go to the Backstreet's Back All Right match.
Mm-hmm.
Adam Cole and the Velveteen Dream NXT Championship on the line. This match was the only one family that was not live. Everything else in the show was absolutely live. And for the ones that love the news in between the reviews, Backlash was already taped. So whatever we're going to see next Sunday is going to be, unfortunately, taped. Because they tape this during the morning. I don't know, as a wrestler, I like to be having a match at 8:30 a.m. But that's what happened to a lot of guys. WWE is trying to take care of their, superstars. So that's why they did this. So this match, John Paul, another one cinematic. Adam Cole arrives in a big truck, and the Velveteen Dream shows up in a beautiful yellow. What kind of car was it?
I think he was in a Lamborghini.
Lamborghini, there you go.
I could be wrong. I'm not a car guy, so
I'm not a car guy either. All I know is that it has four tires, and you can actually drive it. And then we heard the song. So the match was pretty similar to what we seen with Gargano and Ciampa in the one that the last beat match. It was pretty similar. We got people outside cheering. There were a lot of cars parked next to the ring. We had the same referee. I think that what they had for Ciampa and Gargano, and he pretty much says, "What am I doing here? I'm just here to call the winner." But make sure that both of you look on in the spotlight as both of you deserve it. So your thoughts on this, Paul?
I want to ask you a question first, though. What do you think, when crowds and everything comes back, do we do away with cinematic matches? Do they go away?
Oh,
or do you think they stay?
Yeah, well, for example, I feel that, and many people, I've been saying this, for example, for, you, and I know you love this.
And I know, but let me, I think I know what you're going to say. Take out, Sting and Undertaker. Take out old guys. I'm talking guys who can go.
Then I feel no. Because, you don't have a point.
Yeah, because when I watch this, I'm like, why? When I say a backstreet brawl, I think of, Mick Foley, Triple H. I think of something like that. Let's go. Let's have them be in a ring, but just toys, trash can filled with shit. 2x4s, baseball bats, barbed wire, stop signs, stuff like that. Literally, when they used to be they brought everything in the kitchen sink, and they literally have a kitchen sink in the ring.
That's what I mean. Aside of that, I don't see the use of this anymore, unless there's a big feud, and let's say one of them gets hurt.
Yeah, because the only thing I popped for in this match was when Cole went into the windshield.
Yeah, and he got
everything else to me was predictable. It was more of the same. Yeah, when Undisputed Era, the boys eventually showed up, and it's okay, we knew that was going to happen. And then there was chairs, they were throwing chairs around, and one of the chairs hit right next to the ring skirt, and then Roderick Strong, he went to go grab it, and it got sucked underneath the ring, and he's like, what the hell? So you knew someone was underneath there. Who could it have been? Dexter Lumis. Like I said, the way that they painted the feud leading up to it, you could essentially tell how the match was going to go without watching a single second of it. Yeah. And that's why I was taken out of it. I was like, the only thing at the end, it was exciting when he hit the Rainmaker, when he had Adam Cole sitting in the chair and all the other chairs were there, and he hit the elbow, the Rainmaker. At that point, I thought, ooh, maybe he's going to win. And when he kicked out of that, I was like, it's done. I was like, I'll tell you, thanks for coming, Dream. It's done.
I was going to say the same thing. Because he did the Death Valley Driver, and then he did the combo. So he did signature and finisher.
Yep.
He kicks out. I'm like, yeah, no. Cole is going to retain.
Yeah, thanks for coming.
Yeah, and
I'm glad he did. I'm glad he did the Panama City, as you call it, onto the chairs. Yeah, I'm glad he did that onto the chairs instead of the last shot, because I'm like, the last shot would be bullshit. You have all these chairs in the ring. you got to drop the guy on his head onto the pile of chairs.
Yeah, and then he did that, and then he gets the win. Adam Cole retains. Of course, he's the longest NXT champion. He's the most, I will say, the most important, most valuable NXT champion, because outside of Balor, who can you say that like has put the brand like this on the map?
Yeah, I would say Ciampa could have been there, but he got hurt. Aleister Black, his title reign wasn't long. Drew McIntyre, same thing, bullshit title reign. I think he got hurt though.
Yes, Almas like hurt him like in that match. Yeah.
Oh yeah, because that was the storyline on Raw. But
yes,
I would say besides like you said, Finn Balor, like Nakamura, short title reign, Bobby Roode, short title reign. All these guys, they don't have very long title reigns, so it's definitely.
But Cole, he's been the
Cole.
one that, like, he's been fighting all like the elite of NXT. Gargano, Ciampa, Velveteen Dream, Balor, because they had already a match for the title. So like all these guys have been challenging for that title, and he's able to retain. So his stocks are like probably the highest. He's probably the best wrestler in WWE.
And that's why I think it's like we said earlier. That's why I think it's got to be Finn Balor. Like if he's gonna get beaten by somebody, it has to be Finn Balor. Because you set it up for that. Because I don't think they had a one-on-one match yet, like just a one-on-one for the title.
No, they were in the triple threat, I believe.
Yeah,
I think they did though. Remember that like it was like I think that like it was like some interference. Somebody came out.
Okay.
Gargano and distracted Balor again. Remember? And
that's yeah. No, you're right.
Yeah, but like it's still a good feud because now we have a baby face Finn Balor and going against, of course, the heel Adam Cole. But like you said, like this kind of feud is gonna probably take place in like it's gonna start like maybe in 2 weeks because this week NXT is probably gonna be a wash up. Like they always do is like
and like I said, and also with Dexter Lumis, he drove away with the Undisputed Era, not Adam Cole obviously, but he threw them in the van, whatever, and drove away. So like I said, you're gonna wrap up that storyline.
Yes,
you're gonna they're gonna take out Lumis or they're gonna do whatever, and then then I think Finn Balor will get involved afterwards. They'll move on to him, but. Like you said, NXT, the next show is just kind of, Undisputed Era, we're still legit, like Velveteen Dream.
We're going to see a little bit of, like, for example, the tag titles, things like that.
I just wonder where
the show.
I just wonder where Velveteen Dream's going to go. Oh, wait, SmackDown. Again, like I said, this was his swan song. He was one of those guys who, were you ever NXT champ? No, sorry, you were North American, but, just same thing with Matt Riddle. It's the same thing with Matt Riddle. It's like you call these guys up.
We'll see what they do with him, you know. We'll see what they do with him. And, that's, like you said, it's probably the swan song for the Velveteen Dream. So thank you for your time on NXT, Patrick Clark. Jean-Paul, we go to, like, the one that we thought it was going to be the main event. But it turns out to be that it wasn't. And that's Karrion Kross going against Tommaso Ciampa. So, of course, like, Scarlett and Karrion, like, come out. Like, it's like the entrance is extremely legit. Like you say, I don't like too much like Scarlett, like either singing or talking, whatever she says. I'm not a big fan of it, but like
I mean, like when I first saw it, I was like, ugh, and then like as I keep seeing it, I'm like, it's not bad. I mean, I would almost just rather have her sing it because if it's her the one who's saying it, just give her a microphone and just have her say it.
Yeah, it will be.
You know what I mean? Like
better because it's live. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like he comes out, he was of course dominant. The entrance is already tells you that like he's a monster. Ciampa comes out. The match itself was not as short or as long. So I think it was it was definitely for both to tell their story and for Ciampa not to look like a complete loser, but for Karrion to look strong enough.
You hit it right on the head because I was gonna when I was booking it, it was almost that I'm like, oh, Ciampa will be fine if he looks like a loser because he has he's popular, he's one of the number one guys. If he looks like a loser in one match, it won't bury him. It'll be like John Cena when he got squashed by Undertaker. At WrestleMania, it's like it doesn't hurt him. He's still John Cena.
Yes.
So, but then as I'm watching it, I'm like, no, it's fine that they gave Ciampa the offense that they did because then you saw how Karrion responded. It's like, it was a 2 count, but it was barely a 2 count. He kicks out of the signature. It's like, oh, he wasn't able to hit the finisher on him. He was able to overpower him, counter him. And, he looked extremely dominant. All the suplexes, Saitos, Doomsday Saitos, all that stuff. The cross jacket, I was calling it straight jacket. I should remember it's cross because of his name, Karrion Kross.
Yeah.
The cross jacket. And, it was legit stuff. I think the match itself, not counting entrances, it might have been 7-8 minutes. I don't even think it was 10 minutes. It was probably 6 or 7. No longer than that. Yeah. And, it was good.
And of course, Karrion wins with those. That's
Mhm.
what we wanted. The guy still presented a monster, so we're
Yeah.
good. But
And the one thing, like, too, not to interrupt, he didn't tap out, though. That's one thing. He put him
he
in the
passed
cross
out.
jacket. He just passed out. So, again, that's like the little thread that kind of can keep the feud continuing. He can be like, hey, I want another shot. I never submitted, blah, blah, blah. You know.
Yeah, and like it's good because hey, we have a like really future guy in Karrion Kross. We have
Mm.
potential in this guy. For let's say Finn Balor is the NXT champion. He's babyface. Right there's your heel. That's easy booking, and boom, put him in a feud right there, and
Mm.
and he could be your next NXT champion also.
Yeah, because they could even do something, and I'm not saying that I want this to happen or he deserves it, but who knows? Balor, he's not like the youngest guy in the room, so he might not want to have a long title reign. He might
Yeah,
want to just be like, hey, you give it to him where, hey, this old guy, he's still legit. He beat Adam Cole. He beat the longest reigning champion. He has it for a month or two, and then, like you said, boom,
yeah,
Karrion
and
Kross.
then Karrion, and then that will be a pretty
Because then,
dominant champion.
because what did I tell you in previous predictions? Undisputed Era, you got to change him up because then you
Oh
could
yeah.
eventually turn Adam Cole babyface, and then eventually Adam Cole, that
And you
opens
and
up
you know Jean Paul that
possibilities.
Adam Cole at some point is going to be also called up. You know
Yeah,
that's in the there is no reason for him not to be called up because you already like been in the NXT for 3 years. You
yeah,
already
but
carried that brand. You don't, what's there for you to do? I mean, unless you're like Gargano and Ciampa that are like going to take a
well, I
step
think I
back.
think I think they said they wanted to stay on
Yeah, no,
NXT for
they say that like because they were actually calling them to be, and they're like, no, we rather stay because we're here. What we're more like legit. We're
hmm
presented better, and also like we are, and like we try to help out the upcomers, and also like we're also like in pretty good feuds. So that's what they did. So I don't know if Adam Cole has the same
exactly.
mindset though. But Jean Paul, main event time, NXT Women's Championship match, triple threat: Charlotte Flair, Io Shirai, Rhea Ripley. Absolutely great, and I'm just saying that because the winner is finally somebody that we've been calling for. It's like even they said it was the third time that on the takeover that she was challenging for a championship, and this time Io Shirai becomes the champion, and I'm so thrilled, and I know Jean Paul is too. We both pop because like Shirai deserves it, and now it confirms that as of now, right now as we talk, 10:03 p.m. of June 7, 2020, she's the best wrestler in the world. Boom.
Yeah, and this match, I would say, as much as I love the Finn Balor match and all that stuff, this match is probably the best one. It was extremely exciting, and like we said, you had the best, wrestler. It to even quote, all those other guys who were hyping up the match on NXT. Io Shirai, you could argue she's the best wrestler right now, and Charlotte Flair, she's right up there, and Rhea Ripley. All three of these women are like so talented, and in the ring, nobody looked like a loser.
No.
Everybody looked good. Yeah, maybe Charlotte Flair. I would say she probably looked the most dominant, but that's to be expected. She was going into this match as the champion, so
Yes.
she should look the most dominant. But like tons of great spots. They brought to the outside when EO jumped off the house set. The only thing I thought was kind of like it was gimmicky and was bullshit was when she went to throw EO through the window, and there was no like legit window there, and you could
Mhm.
tell it was clearly gimmick that it swayed open. She
Yeah.
didn't actually break anything. She just kind of like got pushed
Yeah.
through like the window frame, but it was like awesome stuff. Like the big boots, the suplexes, all the moves that they hit.
Yeah,
It was
like
all like,
she read the riptide from the second rope, like the same
yeah,
way that she was gonna do to she did to Shayna Baszler to win the title. So I was like, oh, is it going? She
and yeah,
gonna
and
win
there's
the same way? I'm like, is it done? And
that's the
thank God
legit
for
thing
Io pull
too.
it off.
Yeah, all those spots where you're like, oh my god, it's done, it's done. But then the people they get up right at the last moment,
The
to,
plancha I
to
did
break the
enjoy
pin.
also. Io hit a beautiful plancha like to the outside. I really like that. And like you said, like for example, Rhea didn't look bad either. Like she didn't
No,
tap out this time to the figure eight. Of course, Io was the one that broke it off. But like there was like a lot of like you said, like each girl had their own time. And see, Charlotte didn't get the pin. That's good because of course she's untouchable. They say Jean Paul that 66 times during her whole 6 years in the main roster, she's been in championship matches. 66 times in 6 years. So that tells you that like at
that's
least
11
10
times,
times.
11 times a year.
Yeah. In a year, she's been in 11 championship matches, on pay-per-view, regular TV, and all of that. Imagine that.
Woo!
Woo! But at least she knows how to make business, with, like her father. So that if there's something we can say about Ric Flair, she knows when to drop titles, and this time she
Mm-hmm.
did it. And like you said, Io Shirai finally took the advantage. When she was she broke off the riptide, I was like, okay, there's a chance yet. When she broke off the figure eight, also okay. When she kicked out of the natural selection, okay, I'm like, okay,
and that was a legit spot too. When Flair came back in, I think Io like drop kicked Rhea or something, and she was kind of just like celebrating a little bit, like hyping herself up. And Flair came in and hit the natural selection and right into the cover. Like there was like it flowed so smooth.
Oh yeah,
it wasn't like a spot where somebody hit a move, kind of like in the first women's match with the dive spot, where like you're just waiting there, like, oh, are you gonna hit the move on me? Oh, there you go, you're hitting the move on me.
Yep, exactly.
It was all like real smooth.
It was pretty good. It was extremely great. Like even Charlotte brought the kendo stick. She was beating everybody with the kendo stick.
And I got nervous because when they brought it in, it's triple threat, no DQ. But you know how the refs are in WWE. They
forget the rules.
Yeah, it's whose line is it anyway? The rules are made up and the points don't matter. Because he was looking around it, he's like moving his arms, and I'm like, "Don't you call for a DQ?"
Yes.
I was like, "Don't ring the bell." I'm like, I will be so pissed if there's not a winner.
But Jean-Paul, in the end, she finally hits the moonsault, something that Charlotte doesn't know how to hit. So she does end up hitting the moonsault, and Charlotte was applying the figure eight, but so she couldn't move enough, like to let go of the hold, and then kind of like break it.
Yeah, and the only thing that was awkward about it, which it was kind of the camera that they showed the best camera angle to see the most action. But because she had the figure eight bridge so much, I don't know if you saw the moonsault, but Io barely hit the moonsault.
Oh, no. Io hit the moonsault almost on Rhea's face.
Yeah, because she couldn't hit it on her chest or like anything up because it was raised up in the air.
Yes.
And if she would have hit it with the pressure that Charlotte had on the legs, it would have it would have like legit, been an injury. So she almost had to hit it like on her face. And that's why I thought she was going to hit it on Charlotte.
Oh yeah,
I thought she was going to hit Charlotte, but she hit it on Rhea, and as soon as that was, we called it. We said you got to do the figure eight. She's going to tap out, and Rhea wasn't going to tap out to the figure eight twice. There was no way. They love Rhea too much stock in her. You're not going to have that image of her tapping out twice.
Yes.
So it's like it's got to be broken up some way. Camera angle. There's Io up on the top.
And gets to get the pin. We have a brand new NXT Women's Champion. See, that's how and why Triple H knows how to book shows. That's why NXT is always fresh. That's why NXT always leaves you with a smile when the shows is over. Is because at least they listen to the crowd. Everybody's been loving for Shirai. Yeah,
and you got to. Excuse me. They showed all like the streamers and like all the confetti and stuff. They're calling back to how they celebrate in Japan. And Io, like the look on her face, sometimes when champions win, they're like, "Oh, this is my 12th title. I don't care." But like Io, she was on her knees. She was like holding the belt. She looked like it was like a big moment for her, and that's what makes it special too.
She deserves it. Like the girl is absolutely amazing in the ring, and she had her time. She waited a whole year because I told you like a year ago she was challenging Baszler for that same title, and that's where like brought her to become a heel. So now, what a difference a year can do for somebody's career, and now she can be called champion. We even said it. We don't need a long reign. We will be happy if the reign is really long, but if the reports are true that like they're calling her to go up to the main roster, at least she can say that she was champion.
Yeah, and like I said, if you are going to do that, like just hold off till after SummerSlam. There's no point to debut all these people now and try to make them have some sort of impact, especially if it is SmackDown. Because wait for Matt Riddle to make an impact. Wait for Matt Riddle.
Especially Io, Jean-Paul, because like Io's English is not extremely great, and you already have Asuka. You already have Kyrie, so it's not, is Io in this state of like Monday Night Raw or SmackDown.
That's what I mean. And what are they going to do? Put the three of them together probably and be
the
like,
Kabuki Warriors 3? The Kabuki Warriors 3? No, leave Shirai where she is. Let her enjoy her title reign. Let her have great matches with Ripley. Let her have great matches with Chelsea Green, Candice, Tegan.
Well, not Chelsea. Chelsea's done.
Oh yeah, well there you go. Like
they're all done.
Dakota Kai. There's so many.
Shotzi Blackheart. All these.
There's so many avenues that you can visit. But Jean-Paul, this wraps it up for our review. Thank you so very much for watching, family. We hope that you guys enjoyed it as much as we did because we're all smiling because it was a great pay-per-view, and that is something that at least NXT remembers, the old WWE days when at least you left with a smile on your face. Your closing thoughts, Jean-Paul.
I couldn't have said it any better. Like we said in previews and predictions, there's no way NXT pay-per-view is gonna disappoint. You might not like all the outcomes, like we said. Maybe this guy should have won, maybe that should have happened, but there's no way you're gonna go home disappointed. And what they put in the main event and what we got and what we to close the show with, there's no way anybody watching this was disappointed.
Exactly. So, family, don't forget to check us out in the social media world. Where?
John, well, they can find us on Facebook. You can find us at The Original Rope Break. You can find us on Twitter, The OG Rope Break. And you can find us Instagram, The Original Rope Break. And on YouTube for the meat and potatoes, Juan's favorite dish at the Original Rope Break.
The Original Rope Break, baby. We're about to hit a really crucial number. So I'll inform all of you when we do that. So please keep helping out. Keep subscribing. Keep giving Rope Break a chance. Because we love what we do. We love to keep bringing all this positive message to all of you, and we love to bring all our reviews, interviews, everything that we have in store for us. And there's always more to come. So Jean Paul, thank you so very much. Thank you, family. We'll be back for Monday Night Raw and also for NXT Takeover in your house review in complete Español. So, Jean Paul, you and me have one more thing that is left to say, and that is...